We've reached the halfway point at the 2025 Sudirman Cup. Some nations are already through, others know they'll be heading home early. But there's still plenty of pride to play for here on the island city of Xiamen. It's been our home since Sunday, and we'll be here for a few days yet. We're at the Fenghuang Gymnasium, the largest single-structure sports venue in the country, and that's what it's all about. China, the hosts, the holders, they've won the last 3 editions. Can they make it 4 in a row? They'll be in action later on this afternoon. It's day 4 of the group stage. Quarterfinals are on Friday, the semis on Saturday, and then you can watch the final live from 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Well, here's how the groups currently stand. 16 nations initially taking their chance, and we are going to concentrate this morning on Group A. And it's basically as simple as this. China and Thailand are already through. Hong Kong, China and Algeria are out, but there is an incentive to finish third. 14 points on offer, and that battle is coming up in just a few minutes' time. Just confirming then, Hong Kong, China versus Algeria in just a moment, and then later it's China versus Thailand. That'll be in the company of Jill Clark and Steen Pedersen from 5 o'clock local time. Well, what about the Hong Kong China team? Their star man, I guess you could say, is Xiamen. Might be a touch disappointed with the way they have performed so far. Of course, they've got a decent mixed doubles pair as well, but neither Tang Chunman nor Seim Suet have managed to make their mark here this week. Well, as far as Algeria are concerned, it's a small team, just the 7 of them, qualified by dominating the African Federation Championships, and obviously with only 7 they've had to play in multiple matches on the same day, some of their players. Here's our lineup then, starting with the mixed. Shimagami even, no, I got the wrong one, there we go. Starting with the women's singles, Hong Kong's Saloni Mehta making her first appearance this week against Hala Buksani. The men to follow are Hong Kong's big gun and Xiamen, still in the world's top 20 and a huge favourite versus world number 367 Mohammed Belabi. There's likely to be no let-up in the women's doubles either. Thai Masters quarter-finalists Liu and Sang ranked 138 places above Chiba and Masri. Li and Jung haven't played together as a pair this week, but they've got the nod here. Belbari will return after his singles efforts alongside Adel Hamek. And the mixed doubles finale just might be more competitive because only 3 places separate Liu and Fu and brother and sister pair Kosilla and Tanina Mamieri. That could be an interesting one. Up first though, as mentioned, it is the women's singles. Saloni Mehta, who is inside the world's top 100. Hala Buksani, a big underdog in this one.
脊梁。五星均刻着辉煌篇章，以匠心凝聚每一刻璀璨时光，以荣耀致敬每一个不凡人生。165国贵宾举杯长城五星。安全、责任、清洁、陪伴、便捷，一直是TotalEnergies能源对所有顾客的承诺。我们在中国以及全球范围内运营超15000家家用服务站，每天服务超800万名顾客。TotalEnergies能源在中国汽车为每一位中国顾客带去最优质的服务体验。 到达尔能源、
TotalEnergies
以及汇丰银行、
HSBC
威克多、
Victor
阿提哈德高通、
Etihad Airways
赖毛、
雷茂
百岁山、
Benton
东鹏无水拉、
东鹏无水了
东风日产、
东风 Nissan
长城五星
Great Worldwide
等合作伙伴的鼎力支持。
Thanks to the sponsors of this event for the great support.
保护到位，表现加倍。
到达尔能源外齿热管着效保护引擎，抗磨损性能，提升感应形式，汽车养护获取外齿热管。
谁在线？动力拉满。
到达尔能源外齿热管运航超合金分子，换火引擎，强劲动力，汽车养护获取外齿热管。
大家好，我是潍坊全球品牌大使安赛尔。潍坊羽血队员一直以来在中国致力于合作推广羽毛球的运动，以普及这项运动，对它在中国蓬勃发展。目前为止，潍坊已经在中国建成了55块户外羽毛球场，覆盖了11座城市。我也希望大家能加入我们，快一起挥拍享受户外羽毛球的乐趣吧。
总有一些坚持不负所望，
总有一种信念势不可挡。
简单的事情做好就是不简单。
平凡的事情做精英就是不平凡。站在新起点，迎接新挑战。永远不要低估我们对胜利的渴望。雅思永不落幕，胜利正在进行。
人生道义，每一站不过只是一站。稳真者可合力与天地间，稳信赖者能长行于人生路。一针之吻，即真情时刻。昂海将相万毛钱，举信赖，尽真情。贵州老北京功夫有限公司出品，世界羽联官方合作伙伴。水中贵妇，百岁山。水中贵妇，百岁山。
无水了，天热补水，快速补充电解质。无水了，运动补水，快速补充电解质。无水了，每天补水，快速补充电解质。东鹏饮料荣誉出品。无水了，天热补水，快速补充电解质。无水了，运动补水，快速补充电解质。无水了，每天补水，快速补充电解质。东鹏饮料荣誉出品。
尽兴有你。
技术地产人车生活，
长城蕴藏着中华脊梁，有心镌刻着辉煌篇章。以匠心凝聚每一刻璀璨时光，以荣耀致敬每一个不凡人生。165
the halfway point at the 2025 BWF Sudirman Cup. Some nations are already through, others know they'll be heading home early. But still plenty of pride to play for here on the island city of Xiamen. We're at the Fenghuang Gymnasium, the largest single structure sports venue in China, and that's what it's all about. The Sudirman Cup might only be 80 centimetres high, but it is much prized in badminton circles. China have won it 13 times, including the last 3 editions. Can anyone wrestle it from their grasp this week? It's day 4 of the group stage. That concludes tomorrow. Quarterfinals on Friday, the semis on Saturday, and you can see the final live from 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. 16 nations began the quest. As you can see there, pretty much all the groups are decided in terms of who's going through and who's going home. Question is, though, who is going to win the groups and who is going to avoid finishing bottom, because there is an incentive. More team points for coming third, and it's Hong Kong, China and Algeria will be the focus of our attention in Group A here this morning. Just gone 9:30 local time, so that Hong Kong, China, Algeria match coming up momentarily, and then later on this evening the other match in Group A, China the hosts versus Thailand, 5 o'clock local time, with Jill Clark and Steen Pedersen. Well, I think Hong Kong will be in truth a little disappointed with the way they performed this week. Yes, a tough group. Some big names though, and Karlong obviously, and the mixed doubles pair. They couldn't do anything to get Hong Kong out of the group. As for Algeria, we'll just see the Hong Kong cheer. Wouldn't want to miss that. As for Algeria, well, a very small squad, as you can see, the Magnificent Seven. They've been dubbed, got here by winning the All Africa Team Championships in Cameroon in February, and because there were only 7, obviously their players have had to play in multiple matches on the same day. But they still seem pretty bright and bubbly, and here's our lineup. Starting with the women's singles, Hong Kong's Saloni Mehta making her first appearance here this week against Hala Buksani. The men to follow, Hong Kong's big gun and Karlong, still in the world's top 20, a huge favourite versus number 367 ranked Mohamed Belabi. There's likely to be no let up in the women's doubles either. Thai Masters quarter-finalists Liu and Sang ranked 138 places above Chiba and Masri. Lee and Jung haven't played together as a pair this week, but they've got the nod here. Belbari will return after his singles efforts alongside Adel Hamak. And the mixed doubles finale might just be competitive because only 3 places separate Liu and Fu and brother and sister pair Priscilla and Tanina Mameri. That's in the mixed, and it should be fascinating. But first up, it's the singles. Women's singles brings together Saloni Mehta of Hong Kong and Hala Buksani of Algeria. And as you can see, the 2 women on their way towards court 1. Just the 2 courts in operation now, and a reminder that we do also have live court 2 coverage as well. So every match from here on in available to you live. My name's Trevor Harris, delighted to have Chris Langridge, Olympic medalist, alongside as ever. And Chris, for Algeria, I mean, no one expected them to start going out winning matches. It's been a learning experience for them, but I think the golf in class might have been a bit of a rude awakening.
Yeah, I mean, it is you know, even today is a humongous challenge, and they would need some very, very, very big upsets to try and win. I think it's just a case of coming here, taking in the experience, especially some of the younger members of the team, and kind of learning from it moving forward. They are a nation that is improving, so you know, it's for their young members of the squad to kind of aim for maybe however many years down the line to use this experience for the next generation, as it were.
Well, Hala Buksani, the Algerian on court here, is 24 years of age. She is ranked some way down the list at number 352. However, she's enjoyed herself. As you can see, she's actually been considerably higher than that in the past. She's lost both her matches so far. They've previously played China and Thailand, so obviously that's going to be very tough, as it will be today. And in both her singles matches have lasted precisely 21 minutes. And on the other side of the court, from Hong Kong, China, Saloni Mehta, 22 years of age, just sneaking inside the world's top 80 at the moment. It is her highest ranking. Lost out to Ong Bangrampan in the round of 32 at the Asia Championships earlier this month. Best this year, round of 16 at the China Masters. That was in March. And as I said at the start, we haven't seen her yet in the Sudirman Cup. So finally getting a chance in Hong Kong, China's final match.
Ready to play.
I think it's just a question really for Buksani of enjoying the experience. Chaturanga Vishwanath of Sri Lanka is the umpire in charge of this one, and Mohammed Kateb of Canada is the service judge.
Umpire Anjuna Chatini from Italy, service judge Bernard Horrigan from Belgium.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Algeria represented by Hala Buksani, and on my left, Hong Kong, China represented by Saloni Samirbai Mehta. Hong Kong, China to serve, level, play.
So Saloni Mehta to get this women's singles underway in Group A. As I mentioned at the start, both these countries know that they'll be heading home after this match.
One low.
They obviously want to go away with some good memories.
Two low.
When you're ranked down at 350 odd, Chris, it can be quite unnerving, I would imagine, playing in an auditorium like this. Could see 18,000 TV cameras and all the photographers and all the pre-tournament publicity, and you see all the superstars staying at the hotel. It can't be easy.
No, definitely, and it is a goal just in regards to the experience they have, even the level of training. Badminton in Hong Kong is, it's a big sport, whereas compared to Algeria, I'm sure it's nowhere near the same, and it is a case of just dealing with everything because it's all new. And I think for the Algerian squad, it is a case of kind of coming and enjoying it and learning from it, rather than realistically believing you can actually beat the opposition they got, just because the group was so strong.
Yeah, not the most favourable of draws, was it, for Hong Kong, China, with the holders China. Oh, that will make her feel a little bit better. That sneak over, yes it did. Holders China and Thailand, obviously both very powerful.
5
So she's on the board.
Service over. 6-1.
No room whatsoever for sentiment in top-class sport. Meta's just got to get this job done from her point of view as quickly and as efficiently and as professionally as possible. She's made exactly the start she would have wanted.
7-1.
Yeah, I know in Algeria obviously they have a close connection to France, and some of their slightly more experienced players have spent periods of their career training in France just to get the experience, because I don't think the setup's quite the same in Algeria yet. Hopefully, you know, in years to come they'll have that slightly more organised setup where players could maybe be a professional and train, you know, full time there. And over the last 4, 5, 6 years, that, you know, they've improved a lot as a country, and now obviously being the best in their continent.
Well, later on, that's a good leave. A little later on, in fact, the fifth match, we'll see the brother and sister pairing, the Mameris, and they actually were born in France and live in France. So you would assume that their training regime is arguably a little more professional than those based back home in Algeria.
I think that's one of the complications we kind of see in so many different countries. If they don't have a national setup, if they don't have a centre where players can, you know, receive high-level coaching on a consistent basis. And as I said earlier in the week, I was so shocked to hear some of the complexities in a country like Canada, just because Canada is, you know, they've got very, very good players. Michelle Lee, Brian Yang, just two of them, but even in a country like that, they don't have a national centre where everyone comes together. In Hong Kong, they have a national centre. They also have some very good kind of, you want to call it maybe sports schools, where players are training to a very high level on a regular basis from a fairly young age, and, you know, it gives them such a better realistic start. So many different countries, the south is so different. At the moment it's just a big challenge for Algeria.
So Saloni Meta in complete control here, 11-3 at the mid-game break. Courtesy of that winner down the line.
داكور ما لازمش تخلي لي ديغاجمون تاعك، ما لازمش يكونوا بالعقل باش تبريباري هي اليس، اوكي، ومن بعد فيكسي داكور باليس لاست اكزاكتومون لازم تحبس وي يخرج غير بالبون، لازم تحبس لي دوزاج اكزاكت باش تقدر تحطها ما تقارنش، اوكي. اذا لعبت بالعقل الا بريبارات بالعقل اليس راح تفيكسي بعد سلايس وكي تكوني ميم باس عاود يطلع لك.
11-3. Play.
Well, 1-1 on the net cord count now. She needs all the luck she can get, Sani.
Service over. 4-12. Service over. 13-4.
Tough challenge at the moment is just the golfing, let's say, experience and class is just so hard for Algerians to kind of compete on a you know, even in regards to rallying and keeping consistent, just because they're not used to this kind of level of play.
15-4. 4.
Buxani, it really is a massive ask.
Yeah, you would suspect that probably coach's biggest job when this first game's concluded, which won't be too much longer, will just be to try and keep her spirits up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a different challenge to maybe when you're expected to win or if you're the favourite. It's a case of, as crazy as it sounds, you have to just try your best to enjoy it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it is a case of you've got to soak up the atmosphere, soak up this kind of challenge, just because this is, you know, it's a massive event. Sudirman Cup's the biggest badminton combined team event in the world, and even getting the chance to represent your country at an event like this, it's a, you know, it's an honour. But it might not feel like that out there when you're 17-4 down.
That dropped in as well.
The tough thing as well is it's only been 7 minutes, so you know we haven't really had a rally as such, just because it's so hard at the moment for Buxani to kind of stay in the game.
Service over. 5-18.
Nicely done by Meta,
Service
who's just
over.
quietly going about her business here.
5.
Just lost the bearings there, and it brings up 15 game points for Saloni Meta for Hong Kong, China.
Service over. 6-20.
So in just 9 minutes, Meta takes the opener by 21 points to 6, and Hong Kong China lead by 1 game to none.
Le service est en le service est bien, mon cher Reg, tu fais moins de fautes في service, d'accord. كي تكوني مان باس هنا، كي تكوني تلعبي مان باس، عاودي رجع للور، اوكي. وكي تلعبي شنو هذوك لي فونون اللي تكروازيهم، اللي تجيو في لي تكروازيهم. اتونتوا باش تاتاكي ديريكت، d'accord. غير تكروازي بريباري لك، اوكي. لاطر، اوكي هذا. بلو فيجيلون، هيا، بلو كونسونطري. لي كو شوفي دائما الكوتي اللي نديرو، نبريباري الكو سويفون تاعك، اوكي. بام، بوسي كروازي.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Boxer. Boxer. Place your towel properly. Send it back. Second game. Low ball. Play. One low.
Just nodded at her, a coach there, but Sani just almost should say, look, keep going. That'll make her feel better. That was in. Good shot.
Hong Kong challenge. Hong Kong China challenge.
Sure, he's not going to get taken away from her on a Hawkeye, because the challenge has come in from Meta. So for the first time this morning, we'll get the technology on the case. I thought it was okay. Just best shot she's played by a mile.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 1-all. Play. Two, 1.
Well, she made an absolutely lightning start, Meta, in the first game, and obviously Buksani never recovered. But now she's actually made a more promising beginning. That's going to drop in, though.
4-1.
Yeah, and this is, you know, it's massive for Buksani, this. You know, it's just, hopefully it'll give us some confidence and belief, because it is, you know, I'm sure it's quite intimidating being out there in an event this big when she's obviously not used to it.
Service over.
I'd say Hong Kong at the moment, they're kind of a country that's on a bit of a resurgence, just with having such a shift with coaches, so many different coaches being brought in. See a lot from Malaysia. Wong Chun-Han being the man in charge. He's a fantastic men's singles player. Jeremy Gan, Tan Bin Chen. Take charge of the double side of things.
That's a nice shot.
4-all. Service over.
And again there, when she went to just pick the shuttle up, having left it and seen it drop wide, just coach had a little word with that, just continually encouraging.
Service over. 5-all. Service over. 6-5.
The difficult thing for Buksani is she's always the one generally who's just out of position, just off balance, and you know, Meta's just settled into this second game. I think it's going to be a bit of a carbon copy of the first.
Service over.
Sometimes can be difficult, can't it? After such a one-sided first game, it's easy just to lose focus if you're clearly the superior player. Concentration can just wander occasionally.
Yeah, and there's that little bit of surprise just when your opponent does raise their level. You're almost a little bit surprised by it, and your concentration wavers just a fraction. And all of a sudden, it's a bit more of a competitive match.
Well reached. And again.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Buksani in the second game has definitely raised their level. Our movement's a lot better.
That might have floated out.
Yeah, you know. I think it was. And then there's that indecision. A lot of the movement, though, it comes with kind of your nerves. When you're nervous, you're a bit kind of stiff, or you can't flow, you can't move. There's indecision of where you think the shuttle's going.
Nice angle from Meta.
8-7. 9-7. Ten, 7.
Good shot there from Meta.
11-7.
So a 4-point lead for the Hong Konger as they head off for the 1 minute interval.
لي فارياسيون تاعك ما لازمش يكونوا لي فولون تاعك ما لازمش يكونوا عاليين باش تبريباري اليز غير تبوشي لي فولون تاعك عاليين واش دير اكسيليري لك باغ دي سلايس هنا ما تجيبش اوكي باغ كونطخ كي تبعثي لي فولون لهيك دائما نعس لاطاك تاعها ديريكت اوكي maintenant si elle a joué هنا
Code 1 20 seconds
اكي بيان اكي بيان
Code 1
لازم نابليكي البلان
20 seconds.
اوكي هلا beaucoup plus confiance allez confiance.
You're doing well, he said to her at the end. That was as much as my low-level French could discern from that little interchange between coach and player.
Play.
And she's certainly playing much better than she did in the opening game, that's for sure.
Service over.
Actually aided and abetted by a few meta errors, which we also didn't really witness in the first game.
Yeah, and you often see a kind of combination of two things, and there's no doubt that Buxani's handled the second game a lot better. She's moved better. She's played to a much better level, and I think because of that, Meta's maybe just dropped her level just a fraction, because maybe she's surprised by the increase from her opponent. I do think in the first game, she did look a little bit apprehensive, and she didn't have the best of starts, and then I think it's one of those things where it's handling the emotions, handling how you feel out there, because it kind of feels like you're in this big spotlight, and then when you're not quite performing as you hope to or you want to, it's quite difficult to kind of actually handle the emotions.
Clever touch from Meta.
14-8. Eight. 16-8.
One thing Meta has done is move very efficiently around the court. Not have to do obviously as much running as her opponent to this point.
There's definitely a considerable difference just in the footwork that each of the players has and their ability to manoeuvre around the court. Meta's shown, she's far superior in that regard. And I would say something that Buxani maybe could look to try and have a big focus on when she returns and continues her training. It's just the footwork and her movement around the court.
18-8. Service over. 9-18.
Breaks a run of 7 straight points for Meta.
Service over. 19-9. 20, match point 9.
So 11 match points here for Saloni Mehta.
Service over.
And she's got into double figures.
10, 20.
The Algerian. That's all she's going to get, however. 21-10 in the second game, and a comprehensive victory for Saloni Mehta as Hong Kong go 1-love up in the tie. Buksani just really could never cope with the superior class of her opponent. Mehta did what she had to do.
21, 6, 21,
And that is the
10.
first match Hong Kong have won at this year's Sudirman Cup. Lost both the previous ties 5-love. And although Buksani improved in that second game, she was never remotely going to get near the level of her opponent. So 21-6, 21-10 and 23 minutes was all it took. When we come back, we're going to switch the emphasis to the men. Ng Ka Long, very well-known player, of course, up against Mohamed Belabi in a couple of minutes. Well, a very warm welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Sudirman Cup in Xiamen. Publicised the event very well. Everywhere you go in the city, there are either banners, posters, all about this competition. And we have reached our second match of this time, which is the men's singles between Ng Ka Long and Mohamed Belabi. Figure of the Hong Kong player. Just relatively recently joined the 30 club. Won't be surprised to learn that these two players have never met before. Broad smile on Ng Ka Long's face. He makes his way towards court number one. He's very experienced, his opponent. Belabi's actually a couple of years older than Ng Ka Long at 32.
red, this black, red 14. So you want to toss? What do you choose?
So a couple of interesting characters here. You probably know a lot more about Nkalong than we do about Mohamed Belabi. But we'll deal with the Algerian first. And he's actually played both previous matches here in the men's doubles in the Sudirman Cup this week. Lost both of them. But he's pretty busy back home. He plays singles, men's doubles and mixed doubles. And I guess when you're a country of the kind of badminton stature of Algeria, that tends to happen quite a lot.
Yeah, I think it's less of a case of you have a specialised discipline like the more developed countries, and it's a case of you're one of the better players they have, so we'll put you in every event there is.
Nkalong still just about inside the world's top 20. That highest ranking was way back 2017 when he achieved that. 3 World Tour titles, all at Super 300 level. Most recently, and it was recently, in Macau last year. He lost to Viditsan in 3 games on Sunday in the tie against Thailand. That's his only match so far. And as far as this season's concerned, Nkalong's best effort was a quarter-final of the Malaysia Open in January. And you would say from everything we know and on all known evidence, Chris, this is going to be very, very tough for Belabi.
Yes, 100%. He would need, you definitely need his best form of his life, but also his greatest ever performance. And I think it'd be one of the biggest shocks of this tournament if he could. I mean, I'm going to be honest, even if he could challenge, if he could compete, it would be a really impressive performance.
Well, we're about to find out, because we're just standing by for the umpire's player introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the right, Algeria, represented by Mohamed Abdulrahim Belabi, and on my left, Hong Kong, China, represented by Nkalong Angus. Hong Kong, China to serve. Love all. Play.
So Nkalong serving. We start this men's singles. This might become something of a tiring experience for Belabi, judging by that first rally, because Nkalong was dragging him in, pushing him back, had him exactly where he wanted him in the end.
Yeah, we can see even in that rally from Nkalong, feeling pretty confident out there. Nice little hold, push in a corner.
Well, that'll make him feel better.
Yeah, it's a good rally from Belabi. I think the big thing is, as you said, Trevor, he's come out here with a reasonable pace to start with, Belabi, but I do believe he's going to struggle to maintain this for more than the first game. Also, we're seeing a rather different version of Angus. I think he knows he is a class above, so he's kind of
in second gear.
Yeah.
Nice net again from Belabi. He's played a couple of those showing us good hands and good imagination. Good judgment too.
3-2.
An idea of the difference in level. 8 of Balabi's tournaments, all added together, equates to less than half of one of Unkalong's on his current ranking. Wow. I would say, yeah, Balabi at the moment, I mean, he's playing above his level.
4-3.
Any player would be proud of that shot.
Definitely caught Unkalong by a surprise there. Landed in. Oh no, it's out back, sorry.
Sorry, Chris, just go through that stat again.
Called out.
So yeah,
challenge here while we wait.
So at the moment, Balabi has 8 tournaments, and all 8 tournaments added together is 3,318 points. And Unkalong has a tournament on at the moment, which is the final of the Thailand Open, which was 7,800 points. So it just gives you an idea of the difference. If in one tournament, Unkalong can score more than double 8 tournaments added together.
Remaining.
So if you think if he plays 16 tournaments, and you know there was a new rule change where he allowed all 16 tournaments to be included.
Yeah, hence the massive disparity in the rankings.
5-4.
We're just seeing here, Unkalong maybe
6,
going into 3rd gear. Just up the pace now.
7.
And this is the thing for someone like Balabi, who I think probably more of a doubles player in all honesty than a singles player. As soon as there's an injection of pace in a rally, it's very hard for him to
got himself in a real tangle there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's looking up at the lights to say maybe he lost it for just a fraction of a second in the light and then lost his bearing slightly.
Service over. 5-8.
Ooh, casual that.
6-8. Service over. 9-6.
They heard the air rush from that swing at the back of the stands here. So after a bright and breezy start from Belabi, and Fenghuang has gradually taken control and leads 11-6 at the interval.
les attaques تاعو ما لازمش يكونوا في لاكيت تاعو اوكي تشيرشو بيان ايكارتي اوكي سي بيان هذا المقبل كي كنت هنايا تاع كي كروزي منيك تاع ماركي ديريكت اوكي تشيرشو بيان لي لين اوكي خو سي با فاسيل جو سي مي اسي اوكي خو
Code 1 20 seconds. Code 1 20 seconds.
Might have noticed when we showed you that shot of Belabi with his coach, he was really panting for breath. Only played for, what, 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, and it's just the pace he's having to play out is quicker than he's used to, so it is a big challenge. And so I did say he started off really well, you know, and it was very competitive, and I think, as we said, Fenghuang was kind of in second gear. There's a few rallies where Fenghuang did inject a bit more pace in the rally and increase his speed, and it looked then that Belabi really did struggle. And it's just when you're, you know, say you're used to going a certain speed and then you have to go 20% quicker, but for a consistent basis, it takes a lot out of you.
13-6.
As we said earlier, for me, Belabi, I think he's more of a doubles player than a singles player.
7-13.
Well, we are going to see him later in the men's doubles.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of got the pick today for the singles, but it's tough when you bring such a small team, because it's going to take a lot out of him, the singles, and then to perform in the doubles is kind of an even bigger challenge that it was to start with. Slipping away from him quite quickly.
15-7. Thank you. Sixteen, 7.
well, that was a case of the bite a bit, because Belabi had Fenghuang chasing around the court and finished it off with a really well struck winner. Well, that was a shot that he missed a couple of points ago. That time went straight at the body.
8. Service over. 9-17. Service over. 18-9.
Made that look ridiculously easy.
9. Service over. 10-19. Service over. 20, game point 10.
So 10 game points for Fenghuang.
Show where to wipe the court. Thank you. Thank you.
Great defence by the Hong Konger to keep him in this rally. And it pays off. 21-10, he takes the opening game. He had a few bright moments, Mohamed Belabi, especially early on, but once more, as we saw in the women's singles, just that golfing class is one that's nigh on impossible to bridge. First game in Hong Kong, 21-10.
Même si tu sais une lifter entendu, mais c'est préparé, d'accord? Ouais. Tu as aussi des attaques ou des gym, d'accord? Ou pareil, tu pousses ton dur, tu vas la tête. C'est bien que je l'oublie. Ouais. Là, les volontaires, tendu, pas te préparer, d'accord? Ok, c'est bien, c'est bien, c'est bien. Ouais. Et ça marche bien chaque idée. On est في الفond de cours, alors qu'on retard, tu croises, tu peux dire plus de français là, ok? Le droit, tu vas être court après, ok? C'est bien, c'est bien, c'est bien. Allez, allez. Ça va, c'est bien? Allez, allez.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Moment. Second game. Love all. Play.
As if he needs the help.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want if you're Belabi. It's one of these matches where you want all the possible luck you can get.
2 love.
Great shot there from Angus.
3 love.4 love.
I think how long he's been kind of such a flag bearer, as it were, for men's singles in Hong Kong for it feels like so long now.
Yeah, you almost think he should be older than 30, don't you? But started very young.
Yeah, achieved a lot of success at a young age. Now, Hong Kong, they got pretty good men's singles coming through. Balabi actually played Jason Gunawan 12 months ago in what was the Thomas Cup. That was an 11 and 14, 21-11, 21-14 in 26 minutes. Good chance it's going to be a similar scoreline to that today in time frame.
Service over, 6-1. Service over, 2-6. Service over, 7-2.
Brilliant shot there from Balabi. He needs to find that angle.
Service over, 3-7. Wipe to. Show where to wipe. Mohammed, show where to wipe the board. Tax inside.
Non, bien au fond, bien au fond.
Mohammed. Thank you. Service over, 8-3.
Just snatched at that a little bit, Balabi.
3. Service over, 4-9.
Well, that's twice now, this game alone.
It's good that Balabi can actually smile about it and not get too frustrated.
Well, he'll probably be honest enough to accept it's not going to change the course of the match in terms of the result, but as you say, it's very frustrating.
They've started a routine here, cross-court clears to each other from around the head.
That's going to go way wide.
Balabi won that one.
Service over, 5-10.
You know, it's clear to see, obviously, Balabi is enjoying himself out there. He's taking it in. He's kind of soaking up this opportunity and this chance to play one of the best players in the world, which you would never normally get because they play such different tournaments from each other. think Balabi wanted that rally again, didn't he? He wanted the cross-court clears to each other.
11-5.
Yes, he didn't get it. Instead of that, he got a wonderful touch shot from Fenghuang.
So he moves back for the round. Yeah, look, he's pointing where he wants it.
sinon les dégagements d'intervalle, vas-y, tu es plus relâché, vas-y, تخرج, d'accord, parce que là, court. Ok, ouais. Ouais. وهنايا ماشي خرج. n'hésite pas.
Coach 1, 20 seconds. Coach 1, 20 seconds. Level 5. Play. Twelve, 5. Out. 13, 5. Fourteen, 5.
Well, very entertaining point. Had to work pretty hard.
15,
one part of that
5.
rally to Fenghuang.
Wipe the court, please.
Hit that lift literally as high as he possibly could, just to give him time to get back, and that was the moment Balabi went wide.
So wait, wipe the court. Thank you. Sixteen, 5. Out. 17, 5. Eighteen, 5.
Well, appears to be coming to a climax pretty quickly now.
Service over. 6-18.
Well, it's challenging, just, I guess, because he has the opportunity to. It's a fairly quick call of out by the line judge on the right-hand side as we look. call obviously was correct.
Yeah, that was by such a considerable margin. It might have even been to give himself just a very short break to kind of reset.
19-6.
Try and give a little final push. See if we can pull some points back.
Service over, 7-19.
Just the wrong side.
Service over, 20, match point 7.
So he saves the first of 13 match points with an excellent shot across the bows of Fenghuang.
Nine, 20. Game.
That'll do it though. 21-9 in that second game. And Fenghuang never seriously threatened at any stage, as you would expect. Although, as you said, Chris, you got the impression that Mohamed Belabi enjoyed himself out there, and he played a couple of nice shots early on.
Yeah, and I think in a game like that, it's the most important thing, as crazy as it sounds. It's just such a golfing experience in every aspect in world ranking, that as long as he's enjoyed his experience and, you know, he's gained something from it, it's the integral part. You can see a big smile at the end.
So Fenghuang comes through 21-10, 21-9, just under half an hour on court for those two. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will put the focus on the women's doubles. Liu and Sang taking on Chiba and Masri when we come back. Watching the BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2025. Tie between Hong Kong, China and Algeria. And we're on to the women's doubles. Liu and Sang up against Yasmina Chiba and Linda Masri. Just thinking Belabi's only going to get maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, and he's going to be back with us for the men's double.
It's such a small team, you know, and like this is so tough for the players. Yeah, he'll be back on pretty much as soon as he's semi-cooled down.
18, the officials on court now in position, so the players will get the nod to emerge any moment. And they're on their way now.
All the best. All the best. All the best. All the best. Red or black? Black. Red for you? Red. Who's serving? Serving. Which side? Thank you.
As you saw on screen there, these pairs obviously haven't met before. Wouldn't really expect them to have done. So Fenghuang, 23 years of age now. Lost to Luan Tan in just 40 minutes on Monday. So just their second appearance. 31 is the best ranking of their careers. Sang actually won the Taipei Open with a different partner a few years back, but now playing with Lu Lok Lok, who's just a year younger at 22. And they will be big favourites here, the Hong Kong-China pair, against their opponents ranked around about 170 in the world. Start with Linda Masri, the 23-year-old. Got a first taste of international badminton for Algeria when she was 13, Masri. They've lost both their matches in double quick time, just 22 and 21 minutes respectively. Chiba is the oldest on the court at 25. Mohamed Caleb of Canada in the chair. And Chaturanga Vishwanath of Sri Lanka is the service umpire. Service judge, I should say. When there's a huge golfing class, Chris, do you think it gets exacerbated in singles more than doubles?
To be honest, I'd say it's kind of even. I mean, yes, in singles, if the manoeuvrability of a player is not quite up to scratch, then the court can look even bigger. But then on the flip side, you could say if the first 3 or 4 shots of the rally isn't as good, or the defence isn't as good in doubles, you can be under even more stress. So I think we're going to see another massive challenge for the Algerians here.
And on my left, Hong Kong, China, represented by Fenghuang and Lu Lok Lok. Hong Kong, China to serve. Louis Lock, Dolin Damazri, love all. Play. One love.
And one of the things the Algerian girls are likely to struggle with will just be the pace and speed of the rallies.
Two.
Possibly the serve as well. It's a bit nonplussed by that, Chiba.
Three, love.
The tough bit is if you're not used to, you know, the quality from your opponent or as powerful attack or as tight serve or whatever it is, it can take, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even more rallies to kind of adjust and get used to it.
Well, that was the serve deemed too high from Liu.
Service over. 4-1. Five, 1. Six, 1.
As we there, she made a good move, and I think maybe just lost sight of the shuttle for a second. Yeah, there's no doubt they are struggling in the first kind of 3 shots of the rally. Again, another service return mistake. And it's hard just because in a country where maybe you don't have a lot of depth in the doubles category, such as Algeria, it's very hard for certain disciplines to be able to kind of practice, because is there another ladies doubles player of their level? I'm almost sure there isn't. So it can be really hard for them to kind of get used to either playing together or match practice or even certain routines.
Service. Service over. 2-9.
Pushed confidently and accurately into the space.
Service over. 10-2.
Tough thing is, it's been 3 minutes because we haven't really had a rally as such.
11-2.
And 11-2 it is at the mid-game break, and the Hong pair in complete control.
Deuxième point, les retours تاعكم لازم يكونوا beaucoup plus offensifs. OK, إلا ما قدرتش نطلع كي هما يديروا سيرفيس نعس لا دوزيام بريز باسكو chaque fois لا دوزيام بريز إلا كنت en prise V les سيرفيس تاعهم sur la prise plus. OK, chaque fois العكس. زين حاجة أخرى كي تاتاكي كي تاتاكي
Score 2-1, 20 seconds. Score 2-1, 20 seconds. Play.
Just 3 minutes. That 11-3, or sorry, 11-2 scoreline to be established.
And the biggest thing for the pair from Algeria is they've got to feel comfortable, as in they've just got to settle. We haven't actually had a rally yet, and the longest rally is this could be it. And until you have a rally, you don't feel comfortable, and you know. You've got to practice kind of every shot and feel comfortable out there so that you can relax, because until that happens, you're so stressed and tense that you kind of perform at 60% of what you can perform at. And now the score's kind of so extreme, 14-2, you start to over-panic and worry and force it and try things that aren't really possible. Just so desperate to win a point.
Well, one of the 2 points they got was the service error, wasn't it? Service fault.
Yeah, and the tricky bit, that's... I thought she intercepted that.
16.
Oh, she did. Wow, incredible interception. But the tricky bit is as well, okay, that was a phenomenal shot from Pair from Hong Kong, but they're not having to do a lot to win these points. That's a great return, but it's quite comfortable. And that's probably the concerning bit if I was the coach at the moment for Algeria, because the Algerians are just struggling, I think, to find their level.
Service over, 17-3.
Tough challenges here. We're seeing a pair from Nigeria who are runners-up in the African Championships. Obviously, they're one of the best pairs in their continent. But badminton in Africa isn't quite as developed as it is in a continent like Asia, where it's such a big sport. This really has been kind of warp speed. 6 minutes for 19-3.
Misjudged that one.
It's a good rally. Good rally from the girls from Nigeria, because they just moved the shuttle round, made their opponent move.
Out.
But the service fault brings up 16 game points.
4.
Well, that's that. It only took 7 minutes for the first game. 21 points to 4. Absolute demolition job from Lewin Sack.
Offensif, ça y est. Offensif, c'est bon. Nous j'ai droit écouteur. صاحبتي راهي derrière. La rotation لازم تندار rapidement. OK البنات. Et le deuxième point, c'est les retours تاعكم. À chaque fois نعس la deuxième prise. La deuxième prise. راكي تسنى هنايا تلعب لك هنايا، داكور؟ تسنى هنا تلعب لك هنا. لا بريز تاعك au départ. هي كي دير لك سيرفيس، لا بريز تاعك au départ. إلا كنتي en prise V، راهي تلعب لك هنا. داكور؟ OK ناس اوكي البنات on n'a pas le droit de نديرو دي فوت كيما هكا جوزنا غير دي فوت اوكي بلو كونسونطري اوكي قلنا كي ناتاكي ندخل ما نحاولش نسيي نماركي اون ميكو نكونترولي داكور علي البنات علي
Court 1 20 seconds court 1 20 seconds Bismillah. Second game, love all, play.
So can they somehow make a better fist of it here, Chiba and Masri?
was a much better rally.
Service over. 1 love.
Cheaper as well to stay in, and then good counter drive, good placement. Got to give credit to the pair from Hong Kong in the first game. You know, very consistent, very solid, didn't lose focus or concentration at all.
Service over. 1 all.
Made life very difficult for the pair from Algeria.
That was in by a big margin, I think.
Service over. 2 1.
Great placement on that smash.
Service over. 2 all. But
yeah, that attack there wasn't quite going in a downward direction, which is the integral part. Easy pair from Hong Kong to counter it.
Service over. 3 all. But service over. 4 3.
Just missed it.
5 3. Hot. 6 3. Service over. 4 6. Service over. 7 4.
Best rally of the match by a distance, this.
But yeah, a lot better from the Algerians. They were, you know, they were competing in the rally. The tough thing is they haven't really got any weapons as such to hurt the pair from Hong Kong with. And as a continent, Asia are incredibly dominant in ladies doubles all around the world. They're considerable amount ahead of even, you know, Europe or
Service over.
Pan Am also.
5 8. Service over. 9 5.
So integral in a doubles event to be confident on the first 4 shots, as in be organised, to be consistent, and how the rally starts to try and take advantage of it. Something the Algerians have found quite difficult today.
It's wide, and that is the mid-game break already. Only had 14 minutes, 11-5.
فهمتي ونوجد نكوفري لا زون هذيك اوكي نقدر نانترسبتي افون ما يجوز كاع لي سمين اوكي نابليكي هذه لا نوسيون لازم نخدمها نلعب داكوغ وين دابا تكون هنايا كي تكون اوناريا اذا ما قدرتيش تحطيه فيليه ديجاجي اون كروازي باسكو لي بالون يخرجوا تاعك داكوغ كروازي هي سميتو توجد روحها تكلاسي روحها باش ديفوندي تاعك اوكي هاي البنات عليك لا نوسيون هذيك ما ننساهاش
11-5, play. Twelve, 5.
That's a nice shot.
Service over. 6, 12.
A couple of
service
faults they've thrown
13,
in.
6.
Well, glorious chance. I mean, it's not going to affect where the victory is going to go in this match, but should have made that. Just tried to hit too hard, I think.
14.
It's just hard for the pair from Algeria at the moment to kind of contain the attack. Before the match started, I did say the areas that I think they will struggle with will be, you know, the first 4 shots of the rally and then handling the pace in the rallies, especially on the defence or in the mid-court when the shuttle's driven in a flat trajectory. Right idea. Trying to just push the shuttle into the mid-court to then try and get the attack from it.
Over 16-8. Service over 9-16.
Well, they found a bit of fire from somewhere, the Algerians.
10-16. Wait. Play. Sorry, Xiamen, sorry.
That was going well wide, wasn't it? Didn't miss that opportunity.
Service over 17-10.
It's I mean, the amount of points that the pair from Hong Kong in these first 2 games have won from the first kind of 2 or 3 shots of the rally, it will be a lot.
It's out the back by a big margin.
19-10.
So here are 10 match points
20.
for Liu Tseng.
Match point 10.
Really good move here. Oof, God, that could have been a lot worse. Glad she was smiling after it. It looked like she did maybe just slightly slip and rolled her ankle.
Well, that'll do it. 21-10 in the second game. And what seems like a blink of an eye, Hong Kong China have confirmed victory in the tie because they now lead by 3 matches to love with just the 2 to play. And Liu and Tseng never seriously troubled at any stage.
21-4, 21-10.
We'll look at the final point. Pretty straightforward put away from that range. It all happened very, very quickly, just 20 minutes. 21-4, 21-10. Liu and Tseng with a very brief appearance on court 1 this morning. Up next, it'll be the men's doubles. Li and Jung up against Belabi that we saw earlier, and he partners Adel Hamik in a couple of minutes. Well, a warm welcome back to the island city of Xiamen. It's voted one of the most desirable resort cities in the whole of China, especially when the weather's as it is at the moment. 5 bridges, and they've also got a so-called submarine tunnel that connects the city to the mainland. 10 universities here. And at the moment, Hong Kong, China are giving Algeria something of a lesson, and it may not change in the men's doubles. Li and Jung facing Belabi and Adel Hamik. Out on court. No doubt the players will be not far behind, and here they come. have met before, as you can see. It's in the Thomas Cup last year. Resulted in a straight game win for the Hong Kong pair.
Young serving, okay, which end? Okay.
Well, we saw Mohamed Balabi a little earlier in the men's singles against Ng Ka Long. (32 years of age). He actually played with Hamek on Monday, and they lost in 20 minutes. And as we know, we saw him in the singles earlier, so at least it was only 20 minutes. I'm not sure how much it would have taken out of him. Hamek lost to Shi Yuqi in the singles on Sunday. And he lost in the singles and the doubles on Monday. Adel Hamek, same age as his partner. And on the other side of the net, Lee Chun-hei and Yung Shin Choi. It's actually their first outing as a pair in this event. Very experienced, actually, both of these men. Lee Chun-hei is actually a couple of years older than Yung Shin Choi. Actually won a World Championship bronze in mixed doubles back in 2017. And if you can believe it, he won a World Junior Championship gold in the boys' doubles in 2012 with Ng Ka Long, who of course we saw earlier.
Ready to play.
So once again, rather like the first three matches, you would make Hong Kong a very warm favourite here. Right, this was your speciality, Chris, obviously. What advice would you give Balabi and Hamek? Apart from go out and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one, because even with the best tactics or strategy in the world, it's a humongous ask. The big thing, again, will be similar to what we saw in the ladies' doubles, just in regards to the organisation. I think the pair from Algeria will struggle, especially when there's more pace injected in the flat game, and it will be a case of how organised are they at the start of the rally? How much variation do they have in their serves and returns?
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Algeria, represented by Mohamed Abderrahim Bilabi and Adel Hamek. And on my left, Hong Kong, China, represented by Lee Chun-hei Reginald and Yu Ching Choi. Hong Kong, China to serve. Yong Ching Choi to Mohamed Abderrahim Bilabi. Labo. Line.
So here we go, the men's doubles is underway, with Hong Kong, China leading by 3 matches to love in the tie.
1 love.
And it means they've guaranteed themselves 3rd place in the group.
Yeah, and if anybody looked at just simply the world ranking and saw the Algerians are 167 and the pair from Hong Kong, China are 346, that means absolutely nothing, because this is only technically the 2nd time the pair from Hong Kong have actually played together since the last Thomas Cup. They've only got 2 tournaments on their ranking.
Great power from the back of the court from Yung.
Service over.
So they're the coaching staff of Tan Bin Chen. who was a very good player in the men's doubles category himself, representing Malaysia, now in charge of men's doubles, I believe, in Hong Kong. Having only recently actually moved there at the start of the year. Was in charge of the men's doubles in Malaysia before that, working under the legendary Rexy Manaki.
2-4.
Big problem at the moment for the pair from Algeria is the attack from Hong Kong. It's pretty powerful, they're explosive. Obviously the Algerians are getting on the defense a lot.
It's a really whippy backhand.
6-2. Service over. 3-6.
Good interception of the net there from Lee.
Service over.
And Lee having now swapped kind of disciplines, as it were. He was renowned for being a very, very good mixed player, and now I spoke to him earlier in the week and he said he's going to be just play men's doubles. He stopped playing mixed.
8-3. Out. Service over. 4-8.
Yeah, it was slightly kamikaze there from, I'm sure we're going to see on a replay or not. The Algerians, one of them chasing forward on the lifts that short. It's a little bit disorganised from the Algerians on their side, just with knowing who's covering what, who's moving where. That's a lovely return of serve, though.
Service over.
Yeah, they've been struggling with it,
10.
but that was perfect. Obviously a day for quick matches. We've only played 4 minutes. We've got to the mid-game interval already. 11-5, Hong Kong in front.
Leur troisième coup, généralement, la dame, il compte croisé. Donc, ce qui te pousse, couvrir le croisé, d'accord? Lui, il troll le filet, couvrir le croisé. Ok? وحاجة أخرى, on n'a rien défendu. D'accord? Il faut vraiment les côtés, comme ils connaissent, accélérer dès le départ. لازم تحطوا باش نتوما تديروا لاطاك، اوكي؟ راكم تدخلوا في لاكسيليري معاهم وبعد ensuite vous levez وبعد تبقاو ديفوندي. اوكي ليكيب؟ نحاول جو بوز جاكارت ان بو، ما نلعبوش لي فولون سونتر، جاكارت لي بروميي فولون، يطلع الفولون انا شويه ناتاكي، اوكي؟ allez ليكيب، allez.
Eleven, 5. Light. Twelve, 5. Service over. 6, 12.
Well, certainly can't afford to put your points away like that.
14, 6. $15, 6. 66.
Comes across as a bit of a character,
Yeah, I was
think.
just going to say, I think, pretty sure he's just having fun out there, Balabi, and he's enjoying being at an amazing event like this.
17.
Almost did a full 360 there.
Struggling to remember, you know, 3 or 4 times in this match where from Algeria have actually had the attack.
Been a serious rarity.
It's over. 18-7. Seven. Out. Service over. 8-19.
So that error brings up 12 game points for the Hong Kong pair.
Service over. 9-20.
So in double quick time, they take the opening game.
Won by Hong Kong, China.
21 points to 9. Only took 7 minutes, if you can believe that. Hong Kong lead 1 game to love.
Tu as attaqué, marqué. D'accord. Ok. احنا اللي نديرو اتاك. باش تبدا بلا كونستركسيون. داكور. On construit bien باش نديرو اتاك. Allez. Allez. برك كونسونطراسيون هذا مكان. كونسونطراسيون. داكور. وشاك فوا لي روتور تاعي اللي لعب طوندو نستنى لو troisième بور كروزي. داكور. نعاود نربط لا راكيت تاعي ونوجد دروات. اوكي ليكيب. Allez. Beaucoup plus concentré. Allez équipe. Allez.
Board 1, 20 seconds. Board 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Light.
Well, you suspect that Balabi and Hammack are going to be in for more of the same in this second game. It's just nigh on impossible to see how they can turn the tide.
I was a little bit surprised that Algeria didn't put in their other men's doubles pair, just because I think they're slightly higher level. I don't know if one of them's injured. Obviously, one of them's playing in the mixed doubles, Mamari. But Medel is not playing at all.
Service over. 1, 2. Service over.
And it's a real struggle if you're always on the defence, which we're seeing from the Algerians. barely got on the attack this whole match.
Adele. Ready. Out. Service over. 2, 3.
Very aggressive return of serve.
4, 2.
Young there just storming forward because he knows the Algerians don't quite have the defence to be able to turn it away or really go over him.
And as we've said a few times this morning, Chris, there aren't very many even semi-lengthy rallies.
No, you know, and this is the thing about all these matches, unfortunately for Algeria. See, the longer a match goes on, the more competitive it is with rallies. And this is the big thing at the moment. It's just hard for them because they're really struggling to have rallies with the class of the players from Hong Kong. Difficult thing is that Hong Kong, they are a very, very good badminton nation. Badminton is a big sport and they have many successful athletes. Most successful being the mixed doubles for Tang and Sei, who actually aren't in the team today. Just won the Asian Championships in the mixed doubles.
Yeah, which was a phenomenal effort. Well, this game getting away from the Algerians maybe even more quickly than the first. 9-2 already.
Yeah, and this is it. They just really find it difficult to stay in the rally. Always on the defence. Even struggling from kind of the start of the rally. Pair from Hong Kong have just been very solid.
Service over. 3.
And the majority of the points they've actually won so far, especially in this second game, has been from service mistakes from the pair from Hong Kong.
Service over. 10, 3.
Match won by Canada, 12, 21, 21, 19, 21, 16.
Service over. 4, 10.
Brilliant shot. And it's just all too easy.
11-4. Interval.
So they might welcome the minute's respite here. Bernarbi and Hamek. But they're a mile behind, 11-4.
برك لو troisième coup تاع كي يكونوا ميكو اللي ما ناكسيليريش اون ديفونس نقدر ناكسيلي ولا لون داكور باسكو يستناو فيلي داكور فهمتوني ليكيب ميكو ما ندخلش في لاكسيليري تاعو كي يكون اون ديفونس نقدر ناكسيلي دروا اوكي ليكيب ما قدرتش نلعب لا لونغور اوكي ليكيب allez on s'en fout on joue on essaie d'appliquer هذا ما كان اوكي وفاتكم بليزير نلعب اوكي
Light. Service over. 5-11. Service over. 12-5.
I think he's okay. Just a slip.
You okay? Line judge, wipe the court, please.
Yeah, I think Hammock's all right. A bit nasty, that, actually.
Yeah, it looked like his back foot kind of just slipped away from him.
That's how he can very easily do a groin muscle or some such injury. But I think he's okay.
Thirteen, 5, light. Service over. 6-14. Seven, 14. Service over. 50, 7. Left.
上个主题男子单打比赛，来自加拿大的男子对阵来自捷克的张超达。
I think here Young's just being reminded it's very important that he has to make sure that his opponent is ready. You obviously can't serve before your opponent's ready. Now, obviously, the flip of that is if the Algerians are taking too long, but I don't think they are. I think Young's just serving incredibly quick.
One of my commentating colleagues, Bobby Griffin, was telling me that he was warned in one of the previous matches for the same thing.
It looks like I think it's, to be honest, it looks almost a slight combination of he feels a little bit uncomfortable serving because he just gets up there, serves super quick.
Service over. 8-16. Nine, 16.
Well, unceremoniously dispatched that.
Service over.
Yeah, it was incredibly explosive
9.
from Lee there.
Service over. 10-17.
Yeah, brilliant stop drop.
Service over.
And it's just been so tough for the Algerians today when they've been on the defence. Attack's been too good. Pair from Hong Kong, too much variation and power.
Service over. 11-18. Service over. 19-11.
Yes, well left. Now the game, it's just that pair from Hong Kong, I think they've lost their concentration just a little bit. There's quite a lot of simpler mistakes creeping in, which we didn't really see any of in the first game. They're very disciplined, very focused.
So a little matter of 8 match points for Li Yinjun. Well, we've had some quick matches today. This is the quickest of a lot, just 21 minutes for the victory for the Hong Kong pair. 21-12 in that second game, and pretty much cruising right from the outset against Belabi and Xiamen. Just knew far too much for their opponents today, the two in red. That scoreline was 21-9, 21-12 in 20 minutes. And next up, the mixed. We'll have Lu and Fu against the Mameri brother-sister pairing of Casilla and Tanina in a moment. Warm welcome back to the Fenghuang Gymnasium. Shuttlecocks everywhere this week, some of the furry kind. Players waiting in the wings. Remember, this is a tournament gets played only every 2 years, so for some of the lesser countries, you never know when your next chance to play and it will come along. Feeling if we are going to have a competitive match in this tie, this is obviously going to have to be it, but I think we might. Just 3 spots between these two pairs on world rankings. Officials are on court. Players won't be too far behind. Here they come. So it's also, of course, Algeria's last chance to win a match at this year's Sudirman Cup. Can't win the tie, obviously, but they could at least sign off with something in this brother-sister pairing. Obviously never met before, these two pairs.
Here, black and red is going to call. Red is the call. Yeah, you want the toss? What do you choose? Receive. You will receive. Who will serve? Fu. choose your end, that side.
So the two Algerians, Kasila Mameri and his sister Talina. Look at Talina first. She's just 21 years of age. Mentioned earlier, if you were with us from the start, she and her brother were both born in France. They still live in France. And in fact, they had the honour of a home Olympics last year. Both played in Paris at the Games. She's won 5 mixed doubles African Championship titles with her brother. There he is, 26, Kasila. Ranked 52 in the world. He's actually won 6 men's doubles African Championships and 7 in the mixed, 5 of which, as I mentioned, with his sister. So what about the Hong Kong pair looking to complete the whitewash, so to speak, in this tie? Starting off with Lu Chunwei. World ranked 49, so just 3 places better than their opponents. Actually played well on Monday. They lost, but in 2 tight games to Liang and Wang. That was actually Lu with a different partner. We've not seen Fu before in this tournament. Her best this season was a round of 16 appearance at the China Masters.
Ready to play. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Algeria represented by Kuselia Mamari and Tanina Violet Mamari. And on my left, Hong Kong, China represented by Fu Chi Yung and Lui Chung Wei. Hong Kong, China to serve to Fu Chi Yung to Tanina Violet Mamari. Level, play.
So shuttle in play for our final match of the tie. Curious how competitive or otherwise this match is. Because obviously, living in France, the Algerians play predominantly in Europe, as opposed to their teammates who tend to operate a lot of the time in Africa.
Yeah, I do think it will be the most competitive of the matches so far, because I think these two are by far the best 2 Algerian players. I just think still it's a mammoth challenge and task.
Low.
Well, that's got them on the board, and no doubt do wonders for the self-confidence.
Service over. 5-1.
Say the pair from Hong Kong have looked pretty sharp so far. Pretty organised. Do you think over the next 12 months we're going to see more and more doubles partnerships coming from Hong Kong? Just now, kind of for the first time, they've got a pretty extensive coaching staff, so I'm sure the structure of the organisation is going to lead to more and more doubles pairs emerging.
Service over. 2-7.
Well, it was the right shot, just the wrong execution.
3-7. Service over. 8-3.
So far, this is going the same way as the previous 4 matches in this tie.
Brilliant serve. Yeah, and I've got to give it to the pair from Hong Kong. Although it is a very similar scoreline to the other matches, it's been a better game, a lot more competitive. It's just the pair from Hong Kong have been too good so far. Good aggressive return there.
Service over. 4-10.
Well, that'll be the mid-game break, 11-4. Liu and Fu, without breaking sweat, cruising through this first game so far.
L'espace pour croiser, d'accord? Il y a de la place pour croiser. Et aussi, en défense, en croisé, cherche beaucoup plus de longueur, d'accord? Tes défenses en croisé sont mi-court là, d'accord? Et on doit être beaucoup plus offensif. Ok l'équipe?
Un truc pour redéfendre, à chaque fois, retirer avec le contrôle. Dès qu'on a posé, on a rappelé pas. Tu poses, ça fait pas, t'es juste sur rebloc, plutôt que d'accélérer. Quand tu prends l'option, si vous tendu, rebloc juste, enfin juste tu prends tranquille, rentre pas la vitesse.
Play. Oh. 12-4. Service over.
Almost a surprise when the Hong Kong pair lose a point.
Fu, she's been good so far. Barely made any mistakes. I think that's one of the first ones. Not seen a lot of her in the past.
Service over. 13-5. Service over. 6-13.
Speed from the Algerians. It's very hard for them to hurt the pair from Hong Kong at the moment because whenever they get into the shuttle, I feel like it's a bit slow. It's a little bit later than their opponents. Good return of serve.
Service over. 7-14. Service over. 15-7. 16-7. 17-7.
Yep, it's just too good from the pair from Hong Kong. Controlling the match in every single aspect. Again, lovely little push through. Lured his opponent to chase it, and then when she does, just pushes a shot that's not actually hers. Very professional performance so far from the pair from Hong Kong.
A little bit of defiance, even though it's not going to save them, I don't think, in this opening game.
Nine, 18. Service over. 19-9.
Mamre, he's been quite dangerous on the return of serve and when he's early on it, but there's not enough injection of speed in his legs to be able to get early on the shuttle enough.
Easy opportunity for Fu, and it sets up 11 game points for the Hong Kong pair.
Service over. 10-20.
That's brilliant.
Well, that'll be that. That was a destructive first game from Liu Chunwei and Fu Qiyan. And in only 9 minutes, they've bulldozed their opponents off the court. 21-10, they lead by 1 game to love.
L'équipe, on doit s'appliquer beaucoup plus. On doit imposer notre rythme de jeu.
Le pote, ils vont toujours en retard. Des retours en retard, c'est pas. Je sais pas si vous voulez, on va prendre là.
Ouais. Et l'équipe, allez, beaucoup plus concentré. On
la raquette, on va pas la vitesse. Si on met la vitesse sur le contre, on fout le bloc et ça passe au bout d'après. Et tous les bancs qui passent ici,
ok, on oublie le premier set, on essaie juste d'appliquer. Et on prend beaucoup plus du plaisir. Allez, l'équipe, allez.
Ça sert à rien de faire des petits jeux juste en fait des rallyes. Regarde.
Board 1, 20 seconds. Board 1, 20 seconds. Second game, level. Play. Service over. 1 love.
So quick to see the opportunity for.
Yeah, and it's difficult because it's just for me, it's the speed. If I was the coach of Mamre, I'd be saying he's got to do a little bit more in the gym. He's got some nice attributes about him, but his explosive power, his physicality at the speed at which he can move, for me, it's quite a bit off his opponents.
3-1.
Big power in that smash there.
2-3.
Slightly short-lived. Front line here. Yeah, but it's not crazy short. It's just big power and great placement off that right hip.
Service over. 4-2.
Well, courtesy of a couple of unforced errors. Algerians in front early on in the second game. There's another one.
Yeah, it's been a lot better though from the Algerians.
5-2.
Much more competitive, but just putting their opponents under so much more stress.
Out. Service over. 3-5.
Again, it's the thing when he takes the shuttle early,
6-3.
Mamre, he can be dangerous. He's got quite a nice touch. It's just in the first game, almost every time he was getting stretched, he was taking the shuttle late, which gave his opponents the chance to chase in.
Service over. 4-6.
I do feel every time the pair from Algeria lift, they're in so much trouble.
Wipe the court, please. Wipe the court, please.
Just to note, the score is 5-6, not 4-6 as the caption shows on your screen.
Five, 6.
Yeah, and before that, it was pretty good from the Algerians. Good attack. Again, it's just whenever there's that increase in speed, which the pair from Hong Kong have been really good at, it just feels like the stress is just far too much for the Algerians. There. It's the speed in movement. There's such a stark, big contrast, big difference between the really explosive power and speed from the pair from Hong Kong compared to the Algerians.
Well, immaculately played point by the Hong Kong pair. Always in control of that rally. They were to actually pick that up, Casilla, but easy put away for Fu.
Nine, 6.
Well, that pretty much came gift wrap.
Yeah, and Casilla with his returns, they've either been really good and really aggressive, or not so good. There's been hardly anything in the middle. He's struggled when the serve's been quite tight to just find that okay return.
Service over. 7-10.
When he has had a chance, he has been dangerous. It's just getting into that position where he has a chance has been the difficult bit for the Algerians.
Well, this match is just rattling on, isn't it? Only 17 minutes played. 11-7 at the break. Liu and Fu in front.
Et en mi-cours, quand tu as la tête levée, prends-le. Juste, tu bloques, ça sert à rien d'accélérer, ok? Juste, tu mets la tête en position, le joueur descend. Par exemple, si là, le volant en défense, c'est un peu là, le step, tu joues, je crois.
Donc, on voit des volants croisés sur le garçon. Le garçon, il a tendance à être plus bas sur ses jambes. Il va envoyer des volants tendus. Donc, lève un peu ta raquette et attends le Allez.
On assure lui.
Allez, t'as.
Play. Service over. 8-11. Service over.
Absolute perfect return of serve, just pushed at the tape. Good turn.
Found themselves almost hugging each other there. Managed to get out of it. And that's missed the sideline.
It's challenging it, I think.
Challengers called out.
I'm sure this is wide.
This was a lovely turn on the backhand.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. Wipe the court, please. 13-8. Thank you. Full weight. Play. Service over. 9-13.
Well, that's a bit better, much better in fact.
10-13.
Tanina did the early bit, the easy bit rather. It was set up nicely by her brother. Ooh, surprising miss.
Service over. 11-13.
Yeah, I would definitely challenge this. If it's a correct call, I reckon it's just clipping. It could well have missed the line. No, found a big piece of it in the end, so this is a good little period of play from the Algerians.
One challenge remaining.
got themselves to within a single point.
12-13.
13-8 down at one stage this game.
Yeah, and that's the best rally I think Tanina Mamari's played in the whole match so far. Hopefully that'll just give her that little bit of confidence. Help her just relax a little bit. She hasn't really been able to get into the game a lot. Hasn't been given that opportunity.
Play.
Well now,
Service over.
I think we were expecting this.
14-12.
A little bit of luck there, definitely, from the pair from Hong Kong. Sneaks over.
That was wide.
Gonna have a challenge.
Hong Kong China challengers called out.
It's very close.
By the bottom.
I think it's worth a challenge because how close it is.
Just seems maybe they've lost their concentration a little bit, Liu and Fu.
Yeah, the pair from Algeria definitely, their level has dramatically increased. I mean, first game it was heavily one-sided. They kind of couldn't get going. They weren't really moving. But these two were very, very good in the first game. Didn't really do anything wrong. But their rhythm's now gone a little bit.
Always looked wide, and it was.
Challenge unsuccessful. No challengers remaining. Service over. 13-14. Play.
Good defense.
14 all.
And again, he's got to be a little bit careful now. Liu, just when he's off balance as he was then, it's impossible for him to then recover and be able to cover the next shot. He's got to take a bit of pace out of the attack there to give himself time to be able to get the next shot. Yeah, and what a stark contrast this is.
16-14.
There's no doubt about it. Yes, the level from the pair from Hong Kong has reduced, it has lowered slightly, but the level from the pair from Algeria has dramatically increased. Good shot.
Right to ball, please. Right to ball. Service over. 15-16.
And there is always a big gap on the cross from where Tanina Mamari is covering, and our brother has to chase forward.
Thank you.
He's always got quite a deep base. Again, it's that return of service. A good serve, no doubt about it, but in that situation, that's where, for me, Mamari's got to find a way of just an okay return of serve.
Ball.
From who?
Service over. 17.
I'm not sure I saw it
16.
as. Don't think she touched that, to be totally honest with you.
I think that's what the umpire called, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Hawkeye yesterday about this because I think it's so tough for the umpire in that situation because he has to look at the person serving, the person returning to make sure the person returning doesn't jump the serve, and then focus again where the shuttle's going. And best will in the world, I don't think it's possible for a human to be able to do all that. And I just think it'd be so nice to have technology to assist in those complicated situations.
17-18.
Very good serve. The serve was incredible and it made it so hard on the return. The return of serve's coming up and Fu was very sharp at the net there.
So we've got a bit of a tense conclusion to this second game. First tight game we've had all day, truth to tell, in this tie.
just missed it. That would have been incredible otherwise.
I think Casilla's heart was in his mouth when that shuttle was heading towards the sideline. Just went too far.
We saw in that rally from Casilla, Mamari, his attack is dangerous. He can hit such a good angle, but only when he's on balance.
Service over. 19 all.
No point challenging, that was clearly beyond the back line, so all about holding nerve here at 19 all, especially for the Algerian pair, having lost the first game. And here is a match point.
Algeria challenges.
Challenge here.
Yeah, assuming the challenge isn't successful, it will be match point.
I think this is, if I'm honest, a little bit more in hope than belief.
Yeah. It was indeed.
Challenge unsuccessful. No
So now it's confirmed as a match point. Just the one, though.
20 match point. 19. Play. Game.
Well, disappointing again because they were so much more competitive in that second game. Casilla and Tanina Mamari, but in the end they lose it 21-19. And another match that took less than half an hour. It has been something of a hammering, you'd have to say. She'll be disappointed with this, Tanina. But Lu and Fu coming through in straight games. 21-10, 21-19, 28 minutes, the official match time. If you've just joined us, just to let you know exactly what's been happening here, and you can see, very straightforward, all matches won in straight games. Buxani was just no match for Meta. Nkalong took down Balabi inside half an hour. Lu and Tang, they beat Chiba and Masri in only 21 minutes. That was very one-sided. Then Lee and Young taking down Balabi, who'd reappeared after his singles, and Hamek, 9 and 12. And as we've just seen, the brother-sister Mamaris beaten 2-love by Lu and Fu, despite a very competitive second game. Don't forget the action continues tonight with China and Thailand in the company of Jill Clark and Steen Pedersen. Join them at 5 o'clock local time. That's in about 4 3/4 hours. Till then, from me, Trevor Harris, for Chris Langridge and all our production staff, cast and crew here in China, it's goodbye. Well, in fact, I'll just remind you how the Group A table looks, shall I? And we know that China and Thailand are going through. Hong Kong, China and Algeria finished 3rd and 4th respectively. That China-Thailand match is this evening. And there's the confirmation of it. 5 o'clock local time, Jill and Steen, the 2 unbeaten teams in the group going head-to-head. See you at 5.